welcome to Psyched Up. Today we'll be looking at our first topic, debunking psych myths. Typically I'll start by introducing one topic, delving into the ways that it's incorrect, and then offering a more scientifically accurate view. To illustrate the kinds of bunk I'll be deing, I've chosen a really widely and popularly held belief to start us off today. We only use 10% of our brains. I'm not going to say that the people who made the recent movie Lucy are completely misinformed about psychology. Rather, I'm gonna say that pretty much everyone in Hollywood is completely misinformed about all science. I think that's gonna be a recurring theme in the series. Now let's start with counterargument 1, the background and history of the claim. The exact origin of the claim is unknown. That's already a bad sign. Scientific statements need scientific studies so they can be reviewed and scrutinized. It began showing up in writing around the late 1800s and early 1900s attached to claims about brain power, mental ability, mental capacity, and a bunch of other stuff. Not having a precise, consistent claim is also a bad sign. Science needs something exact to test and retest so it can nail down the findings, not a dozen wiggle words that can be used to screw away from unwanted results. These claims largely appeared in self-help, to motivate people to train their minds, which, fair enough, but pro tip, self-help books have never really been about science. And at the turn of the century, how could it be? We didn't have the means to measure brain activity back then. So let's move on to our second argument, logic. Does this match with our intuition? Well, I can't imagine losing 90% of my brain and being okay. Lobotomies remove way less than that and are absolutely destructive. Car accidents and concussions cause small amounts of damage to yield large effects. Nope. And can we come up with an argument for why our brains are 10 times the size that they would need to be? Well, in all animals, the brain uses a disproportionately large number of calories, and on top of that, humans have a large number of complications in childbirth because of the large size of our head, though I'm going to give the most hardcore award to the sea squirt, which eats its own brain once it's done using it. All signs point to brains being unnecessarily large is nothing but a disadvantage. So let's move on to our third and final counter-argument, scientific observation. In modern times, we have a number of ways to actually measure neural activity, from MRIs and fMRIs to EEGs, and I'm sure some acronyms I've never even heard of. Take a look at this one. At any given millisecond in time, it's possible that less than 10% of our neurons are firing, but across time, we can see that our brain uses way more than 10%. So almost all of our brain has the potential to be activated, but in a network of neurons, ones that are inhibited are just as important as the ones being activated. Any improvements we make on our brains aren't going to come from using more of it, but rather from using it faster, more efficient, or more reliably. That's why the next video in the series will be on memory, and how it works differently than we expect, but also much less reliably than we'd like to believe. That video will be in 4 weeks, or you can subscribe or check back next week to see the first video in our second series on study designs and understanding real scientific research. There you'll learn the tools to do your own debunking. Hope to see you then! Have a great week, friends!